Hello, hello, beautiful souls. This is Katarina Satori. What a patience sandwich. I'm gonna see. Yep, here she is. Let's see, sister. I bring them on camera. Let's see. Adding you. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. We had all kind of technical situations here, but we persevering, you guys. Originally, a whole Zoom was set up. I'm waiting for her to join. Yay! Here she is. Yeah, you guys. I'm gonna log out of here so we don't have any feedback. Hi, you guys. So we did it. We did it. You know, always have two ways to go live. You know, like if a Zoom is giving up on you last minute, you have Facebook direct streaming. So hi, hi guys. So this is I would like to introduce to you a very special woman. Her name is Chelsea Penner, and she is the blonde one, the brunette, the blonde. And Chelsea, it's been really on my heart to introduce you guys this woman, and she has such a diverse background and training in psychology, in human dynamics, in conflict resolution. But more than anything, her life path, her entire life path, is all about love and connection. So, you know, this is what this woman breathes, lives, dreams. It just oozes out of her: love and connection, harmony, intimacy, all of that. So I wanted to bring her to this conversation because, you guys, it takes so much freaking courage to date, right? It takes so much courage, it takes so much freaking vulnerability. And I wanted to share with you a little bit from my personal story, personal experience, right? But first, please say hello to amazing Chelsea Penner. Give her some hearts, you guys. Give her some hearts.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an introduction. I really appreciate that. Just to kind of spin off on that a little bit, Katarina is absolutely correct. My life path number is number 6, all about love and connection and family. And I guess I knew that when I was younger. So I always loved animals and always just wanted my love from my family. And the biggest issues in my life were not getting enough love. And then I got my degree in communication, so I learned all about human communication. I did focus a lot on conflict resolution. I was actually considering getting my master's in conflict resolution, but at that moment, way back in like 2000, we didn't have as many opportunities to make money in certain fields as we do now. So I just chose to go a route where I felt like I had more financial freedom. And then when I became an entrepreneur after the corporate world, I got my certificate in life coaching, and I love life coaching. I enjoyed it very much, but it ran its course. I got a little bored with it and just stayed interested and focused on relationships and dating and love. The whole area of love is so fascinating. And I've had so much fun with this. You know, it's been a roller coaster ride. I've had a lot of insecurities teaching it, you know, and then diving deep and finding out why. And I want to start off this conversation real quick, if you don't mind, Katarina, with a female vent. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Warm up the crowd. Warm up the crowd.
Okay, so this is what Dr. John Gray, he's the author of Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars. This is what he calls Venus talk. And some people that are uneducated about women call it complaining. So my female vent today, and you may have one too, Katarina, and we'll get it out there so we can let it go and then move on to greener pastures. So my female vent today is I got a micro needle done on my skin on Thursday. So it looks like I got a really bad
I
burn.
can't
Can you
tell.
see that? It's like all over my skin and my neck. So I can't wear makeup. I'm only wearing my lash extensions. So I'm completely makeup free. I'm feeling very vulnerable about this experience on camera. So my vent is I'm feeling a little insecure about how I look, but I'm very happy to be here. And the science behind a female vent is we have some energy inside us, and women connect through communicating and sometimes through what people call complaining, because we have an energy that we need to get out so then we can move along. So once you have that energy out, then the best thing to do for a female that vents is to validate her feelings and to say something like, oh man, I hate it when I just don't feel
Yeah.
like I look my best. And then guess what? The feeling kind of goes away. The feeling just goes away. But then if you try to argue with a woman, if you say, oh, you're being ridiculous, oh, you look fine, oh, stop, then they just want to argue and the feeling kind of
Mm.
sticks. So a female, it's natural for a female to vent, and the best way to retort is a validation. And then that way the energy is cleared, the feelings moved, because feelings are like waves, and then you can be happy and free in a conversation and be fully just 100% connected to the other person and what the conversation
Wow.
is.
Sister, I honor your vulnerability. And I'm so grateful that you're here in spite of feeling vulnerable and not feeling your
Thank
best.
you.
Did I do a good job, Did I do a good job?
Thank you. You did a
Yeah.
good job. You did a really good job. Yes. And you were born in Russia, so it's a very masculine place. So you weren't taught these techniques naturally. I was taught naturally from a mother that's very nurturing. And I was also, I've done a lot of research. So when you're born into a very masculine environment, sometimes you're stuck in a logical state of mind and you think, oh, complain, she's complaining. Oh, fix it, fix it, fix it.
Yeah.
And a lot of men do this. A lot of men just want to fix, 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 fix. So they think the best thing to do is to tell you, no, no, you're crazy. You look beautiful. It's like, no, for me, I'm on a Chelsea 2 compared to like a Chelsea 10. So, you know what I mean? It just turns into an argument and it's not good
Yeah.
for anybody. It's just it's a very natural thing to do for females. We have more estrogen, men have more testosterone. So it's just like Dr. Gray calls it Venus talk. So do you have a Venus talk, Katarina? You want to get off your chest?
Okay, you guys. So maybe my Venus talk will be just a little bit about my personal story. Like, what's the why behind this live stream, you guys? One of my highest value is transparency in leadership. Transparency in leadership, and like the one arena in my life where I had zero strategy was my dating life. And actually, two of the people who I respect their opinion, they called me out on that because I was like, well, I'm setting my goals 2019. I feel my heart is open. I feel I'm really ready to meet my match. I feel like I parked the past. My heart is open. I'm at the point in my life where I'm really can focus on building love, not just attracting, but really building it. And one of my friends looked me in the eye and he said, so let me make sure I got this right. You have strategy in every area in your life, but the only one area you have zero strategy and you just like allowing it. Like the only strategy is to allow it. So that was the first clue, you guys, that shifted my mindset. And the second clue, I was watching one of the YouTube videos, and this woman who was doing a video for highly successful women who know who they are, what they're here for, they're radiant, they're lovely. And she says this very, very simple question. She says, what do you do to be found? What do you do to be found? So the very first mindset that shifted me, you guys, was realization that I had zero strategy in the area of life that I thought was very important to me. And the second, I wasn't doing anything to be found. So then my best friend Chelsea, who is here with this conversation, I was sharing that with her, and she says, Katarina, you're not giving great men any chance to connect with you, right? She's like, you're so focused on your work and on your mission. Like, how are they gonna meet you? How are they gonna connect with you? So that was another moment where I said, it's actually logically makes sense. It's intuitively makes sense. And you guys, and that was, it was it was so vulnerable for me to open myself up to online dating again. I've done it before, you guys. I hated the experience. I don't think I was really open to it. I don't think my heart was open to it. I had a lot of barriers, a lot of defense mechanisms. So this time I asked her and she offered. She's like, you know what? It's around Christmas. Let me help you set up your profile. And I'm so glad she did, you guys, because there were so many blind spots that I didn't realize that I was just just leading with the wrong thing in a way, leading through my masculine a lot, and it's something I couldn't see, leading with my achievements, leading with my this is it, instead of magnetizing with my feminine. And I know Chelsea will share more, but this is kind of the background story, you guys. Number one, it was deeply vulnerable, and having her in my corner was absolute game changer, because she wouldn't allow me to shrink in a way, like go back to my defense patterns, and she would talk me through it. Oh, hold on, I think we're losing power. Okay. She would talk me through it when I would get disappointed, defensive.
Yep.
Yeah, really, my
Correct.
scared,
Yes.
my guard goes
Scared.
down, you guys. So I've been,
Mm-hmm.
it's been really
Mm-hmm.
fascinating. But the number one thing that I wanted to share for other very strong, successful, fulfilled people, men or women, it takes so much fucking courage to open yourself up and to say, you know what? I am willing to be found. I'm willing to be
Mm-hmm.
visible, right, you guys? It takes a lot of courage. So yeah, it's a game changer, Satori. So that's where I would like to start. And having her in my corner has been such a game changer. And there's a few mindset upgrades that she helped me see. Um, but yeah, my vent, maybe I'm not gonna start that deep with that vulnerability. Maybe I'll warm up to that vulnerability, Chelsea.
Okay.
But I'll pass you the
Okay.
torch. What was your experience? What was your experience where, like, you were helping me set up the profile, and like on one dating app, you guys, I lasted only 2 days, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. So it's important to find the dating apps that actually align with you, and that's what she helped me do.
Correct.
And what I respect about Chelsea, she's waiting to speak so patiently because but but you guys, she's a
I'm
great
a good
listener, you
listener.
guys. What I respect about this woman is that she teaches through experience, she teaches through embodiment. Like, this woman is it's such a deep romantic and optimist, and she would go on so many dates. I'm like, sister, how are you going on so many dates, and how you keeping your heart open? And one of the insights that she got is like, in order for me to serve my clients in the best way, I have to know how it feels. I have to know what's the dating experience is like in all its variety. So I have a compassion and empathy and deep understanding. So yeah, so that was really powerful. Okay, take over from here. Take over from here.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I was actually when I first started out as a dating coach, it somewhat fell in my lap because this is many years ago, like 7 years ago or something. I and how I got started out sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm not. And just being completely honest, I was getting hit on a lot, and still do, I guess you could say. And I noticed patterns in myself, what would work, what didn't work with a man's approach. And I have no filter on my mouth. So I have no problem telling a man, wow, that was your line? That that's what you tell women? Does that work? Or, oh, I'm so unimpressed, yawn. And one guy actually had the nerve to say to me, I wouldn't mind going out with you. I was like, I wouldn't mind. Like, I didn't come up to you. You walked up to me. Like, you wouldn't mind? I'm not going to mind walking away. Like, what? So I was really fascinated by what men were thinking in their mind when they, I'm very fascinated by this kind of stuff. So my first client was actually a guy that hit on me, and I started giving him advice because I thought he was cute and I wanted him to win. So I'm giving him pointers and cues and the keys to succeed with me. And he thought, wow, this is really valuable information. I'd love to learn more. I'm like, well, I'm an entrepreneur. My time is money. Like my time is my most valuable asset. So I can't just sit here for an hour and tell you. And so he was my first paying client. And he learned so much just from me being authentic, the background that I have, being conscious, as well as being a woman, and being real about what I want. And I have no problem keeping my standards and telling a man what works for me and what doesn't, when a lot of women don't have those kinds of balls on them. They usually, because men, what they do sometimes, not conscious men, but sometimes what men do if they get rejected is they're hurt. So then they say something like, oh, well, I didn't think you were that cute anyway, or, oh, well, I was just kidding, or it was just a bet, or you don't even have a booty, or, like just really kind of like, they're trying to, you hurt them, so they're trying to hurt you back. I don't care. So I would say whatever I want to say. So that he referred me to other people, and it just became like a referral based business. And I was refusing to get on online dating because I felt like it was lowering my value. And I also felt like I know who I'm meant to meet. So I'll meet him, when I'm ready, or when he's ready, or whatever the case may be. And then what I noticed with my clients is that most of them were doing online dating, and most of them were meeting the people that they're going on dates with from the online profiles. And this is 2019 at this point, and it's like, yeah, that's what it is. Dating is a lot online because we've become kind of isolated, and I'll get into that a little later. But I decided, you know what, I really need to get onto online dating with the push of my sister as well. My sister actually pushed me too. So I decided to try it out. And when I tried it out, I was having a lot of empathy for my clients and sympathy, and wow, no wonder they're so stressed out about dating. No wonder they have so many negative connotations towards online dating, because it does feel like swipe, 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 you're not good enough for me just based on how you look, kind of a feeling. You're not good enough based on what you're saying on your profile, kind of feeling. A lot of assumptions being made. So I got it, and it made sense to me. And I felt like the more I went on dates, the more value I brought to my clients as well. Because if someone brought to me an issue, I understood it because I experienced it myself. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I experienced that too. Instead of, as a coach, people putting me up on a pedestal, oh, if I could only be like Chelsea. No, I'm just a woman too that makes mistakes and goes through the same screw ups that you do. I just decided to focus a lot of energy in this area. So I like to share the wisdom that I learned. It doesn't make me better, so I understand what people are going through. And because I've gone on so many dates, I can help guide them. And it's also a process, just like anything else in life, just like your career is a process, just like your spiritual evolution is a process. It's all a process. And sometimes we get stuck on the fact that we ran into a challenge and maybe we're done with it. But no, if you look at it like, maybe compare it with your spiritual path or your career, and just compare notes, and remember, you hit challenges with your career, you hit challenges with your spiritual awakening, you hit challenges with every part of your life. You didn't give up on those. Or compare it to a road trip. You're going from Arizona to San Diego. If you hit a challenge on the way, would you really just want to give up and say, oh, screw it, let's just not go to San Diego? No. So why do people do that in dating? So I have a determination to help people understand that it's just a process. And the process of it is just as beautiful as your spiritual awakening and your career, because you're becoming a good person. To become successful, you're becoming a good person. So to become successful in love, you're going to hit challenges and roadblocks. It's helping you become a good person. It's helping you become, not only are you trying to find the ideal partner, you're becoming the ideal partner in the process of dating.
Wow.
So my mission is to help people understand this.
I am just like, I'm having like this major illumination again. I love that you put such a high value on the process, you guys. You know, and today I confide, is it the right word, confide? Do I confide in you? Okay. So I confided in her because I had an experience that looked like an obstacle today. I'm not going to go into detail to respect everybody's privacy, but it was an experience where I felt, you know, it was disappointment. It was a kind of a bump on the road, right? And my heart felt hurt and felt emotion. And what I appreciate about Chelsea, you know, I said to her, I said, I am more resilient in business than in relationships. And she said, well, you had more practice in business. And that was a really powerful insight. So she always helps me see, you guys, is like a muscle. It's just like a muscle. And so many times I wanted to throw in the towel, you know, after doing a few reps in this arena. But like, I never even think of giving up on my business after a few tries. Like nothing can stop me after going after a business goal. So what I'm learning from what she's teaching, to apply the same level of determination and mindset and passion, apply that to your love life and to your dating process. Right? Right, sister?
Process. It's a process. And what I want to talk about next is, you know, we're high value women, and everybody watching this is high value as well, because they're into the same things that you're into. They're into your teachings. They're high value, and that means that we won't settle for less than a high value man. So what is high value? High value is, and you can jump in too, but high value to me is working on yourself to be the best person you possibly can be, which means if you love yourself enough, then you have love overflowing to give others. If you pour enough wisdom into yourself, you have enough wisdom to pour into others. If you are healthy and you pour in health into yourself, then you can be a good health example to others. And being high value means that you love yourself enough to work on yourself internally, externally, and serve others.
Yes.
And would you agree? That's high value. Okay. And high value also means that we have a lot to offer the world. You know, we're not vampires and takers and, you know, scamming people. You know, we have a lot of love to give. We have a lot of wisdom to give. And you know, we're probably open-minded, which means we're good in the bedroom. And, you know, we have so much to offer our partners. That makes us high value. We have things that in the dating world we would call like multiple, oh, now I'm going blank on the term. I'm so sorry, I didn't eat enough today. But we have multiple facets to us. We're not just one-dimensional. You know, it's not enough to look good to a high-value person. You know, we also need to be intelligent. You know, we also want to have fun. You know, we want to be fun. We also want to be a good lover for our partner. We also want to add value to the world. So when we have so much to offer, that means that we've done a lot of work on ourselves for a lot of years. And then think about the number of people that have done the same compared to the population of the entire world. Would you say it's a pretty small
It's much smaller.
percent? Yes, it is much smaller. It is much smaller. So you have all these people in the dating world that are single, but then because you're high value, you want the same traits and values in a man or in a woman if you're a man. So then that maybe dwindles the pool down to
Mm.
just a couple. So that means that if your chances of meeting each other are a lot lower than people that are not high value or don't work on themselves. So, and it's interesting to me that people that are high value also say, well, I know my soulmate's out there. I know my twin flame is out there and we're
Yeah.
going to meet. It's just a matter of time. So I'm just going to forget about it. But we have a tougher time meeting them than
Mm-hmm.
average people. So why aren't we doing anything at all to help the process? You know, part of the fun sometimes I think in having a twin flame and soulmate, whatever you want to call it, because everyone has different, definitions for those things. I think part of the fun is finding
Mm.
each other.
Okay,
That's
can we
part of the
pause on
fun.
this one because I think it's so brilliant what you just shared, sister. So part of the fun is in finding each other. It's like you guys, the
Yes.
belief that I had, okay, so for community, my beloved souls, the belief that I had, and I still feel on the etheric level it's true, that my life partner has already been chosen, right? So it's something that I have this inner knowing, right? There's things like that don't just happen randomly. It's something that you, especially if you're on the path of leadership, evolution, blah blah blah, you choose the sacred contract with the person with whom you go through life, right? So what was my blind spot, and the reason we're sharing this live stream is to help somebody realize the blind spot of holding on to the belief. It's almost like this passivity. Well, it's already chosen, it's going to show up, it's going to appear, it's going to fall into my reality, right? That's a kind of a blind spot, right? So this is why what it helped me was to see, like, what is it I'm doing to be visible? Yes, I'm emanating my vibration. Yes, I'm enjoying the dance, as Bobby says, exactly, right? But so you guys, you see what she's bringing forth, such a brilliant genius insight, is this part of the dance, part of the excitement is finding each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, before you come into this physical body, you kind of want to make it a little tough on each other because it's so fun. It's so fun. Like, what if I'm in London and you're in LA? How fun would that be to find each other, and how much we would appreciate like all the intricacies that had to
Yeah.
happen for us to meet. Like that's so fun. That's so fun. Like, how did you found each other at an airport or whatever? Like, there you are. There you are. I've been looking so long for you. I had no idea you'd pop up here.
Yeah.
That's fun. And so sometimes I think that we kind of like put ourselves into different parts of the world on purpose, not only to learn. Like,
Yeah.
grew up in Russia, and your soulmate or twin flame or whatever you want to define it, because we'll talk about that next if you want to. But let's say they're here in California. You were drawn to California for a reason, and once you and your beloved get together, you guys can actually have fun with, wow, all the things that had to happen for to happen. I came all the way
Mm-hmm.
from Russia. Like, how crazy is that? How fun the process has been to become who I am so I could deserve
Mm-hmm.
you. And so they could become who they are to deserve you. And you guys could
Mm-hmm.
appreciate each other and have an amazing relationship. But that's the fun. The fun is getting to know each other. And I think online dating and dating in general is basically kind of molding us and shaping us into the person that is ready to not only be this ideal mate, but accept the love that your ideal partner has to give you. You know, because there's a lot of challenges with online dating, as you've experienced, as we've all experienced, dating in general. And sometimes it can, you can feel like it's personal, like what's wrong with me, instead of stepping back and looking at it like a career process. Well, career process, you're becoming you're becoming successful along the process. These challenges aren't personal. It's just what you're calling into your life to become the successful businesswoman you are today. So these challenges aren't personal. These people saying, I'm not interested in dating you, or I don't like that you're brunette, or I don't like that you're tall, or that you're a woman. Whatever they say, it's not personal. It's just part of the process in which you're evolving and growing into this perfect ideal partner that your soulmate twin flame is waiting for, right? And you're going to appreciate yourself, and you're going to appreciate your partner that much more when you find each other. And again, it's all a process. Just like what you teach in your business. Like I listen to your videos, sister. I hear you talk about the process. I hear you talking about failures and fuck ups. And how is that any different than finding your beloved?
Yeah.
You know, it's we're all wanting this fulfilled life. And usually with a fulfilled life, this reflection as a partner is adding to your life experience, because I call it cosmic epic love. And there's no better feeling on earth. It all makes us remember why we came here, why we're human beings, to experience this amazing feeling. And once you achieve that, then you'll understand the process. But while you're going through the process, oh man, oh, it's going to test you. It's going to test you, just like your entrepreneur process, just like your evolutionary spiritual process. It's going to test you.
Ooh, you guys, I'm just gonna take all of this in. We are just warming up, but this has been really powerful, right, you guys? So finding the joy in the process was the big truth grenade that Chelsea shared with me, and I never saw it like that, especially for those of you guys who are also business minded like me, who are strategists, who are entrepreneurs, right? Just take a look at, do you have a strategy in your dating life? Do you have a strategy in your relationship life, right? So, and finding that joy in the process. And more than anything, you guys, having somebody in your corner, like I have Chelsea in my corner. And when I go through a bump on the road, and I do take things personally because I'm a highly sensitive person, and Chelsea comforted me today because I feel so many things. And, like once my heart begins to open, and I'm like, oh, that was not the one, and it was tough. Like mentally you understand, but emotionally it's really challenging to go through that. And having her in my corner has been such a game changer, because she can help me realign to the truth and to the essence, and to begin to see the process fun again. Because that's what, for me personally, the moment I stop seeing joy in something, right, it's like I will kind of push it. I begin to push it away. I'm like, this is exhausting. Takes me away from my mission. The big dragon belief. If something gonna take away from my mission, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm over it.
But you do understand, it's helping you with your mission in a way.
Yeah, because you remind me constantly this.
It's helping you become a better leader, because you aren't just, I guess, working out one muscle. You're working out multiple muscles. So if a client comes to you with dating failures, you're not going to say, well, I have no idea what you're talking about because I isolate myself and
Mm-hmm.
just focus on my mission. Then you can actually have some empathy
Yeah.
and sympathy for your client. So it does help. Everything helps
Mm-hmm.
in life. You don't want to do something just because it's uncomfortable, just like how you teach your clients, just because it's uncomfortable to let go of your corporate job and become an entrepreneur doesn't mean it's not good for you.
Yeah.
So compare it with that. Yeah, it's an uncomfortable process. Yes, you can take things personal even though they aren't personal, because it's always about
Mm.
the other person. And it's always like where they're at. I'm going to give an example of that. So, and we're talking about high value right now. So if we're all high value, let's think back before we really understood our self-worth. And we all have those moments where we
Mm-hmm.
have less self-worth. Let's think back to those times. Let's say you went on a date with someone that was your dream partner when you didn't have the highest self-worth. What would you probably screw it up? Most likely, yeah, because you would think you don't deserve them, right? So you might sabotage it. You would, and I'm going to give it a perfect example here. I'm going to tell a story. So I was connected with, before I got on online dating, I had a matchmaker connect me with a man. And this was a long, long, long time ago. This was my first look into a king archetype on a date. And I've seen kings on social media, on TV, whatever, but I was never on a date with one before. So I was still young and naive and still learning my self-worth. And he's just tall, dark, handsome, rich, philanthropist, loves to give, volunteer, just, spiritual, amazing. Like he already embodied love. He understood love. Like he could speak like Jesus. And I was just like, I sabotaged it so bad. And it was super subconscious. I didn't understand, and I kind of knew I was screwing up while I was doing it. But after the date was over, I was like, oh, wow. That was my worst date for me. I've never bombed a date before. Men, they bomb dates all the time. That was my first date that I bombed. I'm like, wow. I've been dating men that I am out of their league. And this was the first sign that I needed to step my shit up, and big time. I was terrified. So think about that. Let's flip it for a second. We're high value women, and
You you froze a little bit, sister. You said, yeah,
can
right
you
now
hear
you said we high
me?
value women from that point.
We're high value women, and most likely the people listening to this are high value people. So, and let's maybe even been on the path for a long time. We've worked on ourselves career wise, internally, maybe externally, for a long time. And we know we got it going on. Okay. So think about how the person on the date looking at
Mm.
you feels. Really, you are embodying what Jesus was trying to teach. Love, which is not, it's not um it's oneness. There's no judgment. It's loving everybody, loving your enemy, and really embodying that because you've been on your path for so long and you're successful. You serve others, you do really well. So this person on a date with you probably, most likely, because let's look at statistics, they're probably pretty low. They haven't mastered as much
Mm.
in life. So they might be a little terrified. They might subconsciously think they
Mm.
don't deserve you. That can happen. Or what can also happen is that we revert when we meet the king archetype or the queen archetype across from us on a date. and we're like, oh my gosh, they're my equal, sometimes we revert back to the woman or man that didn't have the high self-worth, and we think deserve.
Oh, frozen. Come back. Come back, Chelsea. You guys, it's frozen on my end. Um, Maybe I'll have to restart. But are you guys enjoying this or what? There's so many truth grenades. I'm gonna wait a few seconds and see. Maybe she will. Let's see. If not, we'll start again. Let's see. Hi guys. Let's see. Add. So I'm just adding her, you guys. But I want you frozen, right? Yes. How about my screen? Is my screen still going? Yeah, she wants to be on the video. We're gonna add her right now. Hey, here you are, but you're sideways, sister. If you flip your phone this way.
My phone is acting up, so now I'm sideways.
That's all right. If you flip the phone, let's see. Yeah,
well, then you'll be
no.
Now you're sideways. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
because both frozen.
Now we're both sideways. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying, the flip side, when we meet our equal, then sometimes we revert back to that person before our self-worth path, our self-love path, that feels like they don't deserve this king archetype or this queen archetype, or doesn't deserve love in general. And there's I could go on and on, like this could be a novel, but I'll just talk about the basics. And that's usually people that are high value have gone on this path because they've worked so hard on themselves. And they work so hard on themselves, maybe because something traumatic happened in their childhood. Maybe they had a parent that they didn't feel like loved them. Maybe they didn't feel like, maybe they were abandoned. You know, something pretty traumatic with love has happened. And so if you avoid love while you're working on yourself on the spiritual path, then when you open yourself back up to dating and love, then those old wounds start to come up again that you thought you cleared during your path. And you thought that you got rid of them, but they come up.
Yeah.
Because this is love. You know, love was one of the most powerful forces, if not the most powerful force on earth. And something traumatic regarding love happened in your childhood, is going to directly correlate to meeting your ideal king archetype, queen archetype partner, because it's triggering the I'm not good enough wounds that we have usually as high value people. We're high value because we've done work on ourselves. We've done the work on ourselves because we didn't feel like we were good enough as we were, and you know, had to go to spirituality, or, you know, whatever our reasons were. Usually we've come from a tough background. Yeah. Usually we've come from adversity. So these are triggering these old wounds. And I think we can all relate if we ever get a glimpse of our dream partner right in front of us. Sometimes these old wounds get, oh my gosh, I'm not, what if they abandon me? You know, what if they hurt me? You know, and it's good. It means, okay, you have something you can work on. This is good. I'm noticing that these old wounds are, I'm being triggered. I'm noticing that myself, I need to tell myself I deserve love. I'm good enough to accept love. I'm a worthy individual of love. And uh-oh. Is that my phone or yours? Oh, there you are. Okay.
today, you guys, would
Could you hear me?
render you guys whenever we bring.
You were it was slow, but then I think we caught up. I think it caught up. I think I can hear you
Oh,
now.
perfect, perfect. But you guys, this is a, it just can't hear you. Mm-hmm. Well, sister, why did,
Hold on just a second.
yeah. Thank you guys. I know.
This is a
What's that?
it's a sensor right here.
We're gonna,
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
yeah, I know. Maybe we restart. Sister, how about maybe restart or we back? It says, she said, I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. You guys, we're talking about the bumps on the dating life and opening yourself to love. And Chelsea has been giving such a powerful and very practical wisdom, you guys, and it's something that I've experienced. It's almost like some authentically speaking, you guys, it's sometimes it's such a challenge to meet somebody that I can call my equal, right? when
Right.
you do when you do you're like,
Absolutely.
holy crap, it's actually happening, and it's in my face, and the
Right.
wounds came up, and this is kind of like what I just recently experienced, and this is what Chelsea was there for me, and she helped me to really get in touch with that purity and that innocence, that, hey, Katarina, you deserve it. And you guys, I've heard it so many times. I know it, I know it, I know it. But when somebody that you trust can actually tell you straight into your heart, that's the medicine that you're receiving. And I have a feeling that's the reason why I'm creating this experience, to receive this deeper soul medicine of knowing that truly it's time. Like my earliest trauma happened when I was 5 months in my mother's womb. 5 months. So, talking about disconnecting from the mother's love, right? At 5 months in the utero. And sometimes, like, knowing that gives me compassion and grace and patience with myself. But just like Chelsea said, the reason we are, all of you that listening, the reason why we are high value is because we put so many years, decades of courageously looking within and saying, this is the wound, and I'm not going to pretend the wound is not there. I'm actually going to heal, right? And you do this for many, many years, and people look at the final product. They're like, oh, you're so amazing. You're so amazing. You're the whole package, right? But the years of building up to this, and this is why it's a very different process when you venture out into a dating arena. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of vulnerability, and a lot of patience. A lot of patience, you guys. But when the wound come up, and when the fear comes up, and when you want to throw up, when you want to throw away the towel, sometimes it feels like you want to throw up too. um, it's
Yep.
it's so good to have somebody in your corner, and I wanted to share Chelsea's wisdom with you guys, because literally without her, I don't think I would last more than 24 hours on a dating app. So I would be like, screw this, I am over it. You know what I mean? And she's,
Yeah. You've done years of work on yourself to open your heart, years of work to do that. And so it's left you in somewhat of a vulnerable and sensitive place. And it's a beautiful thing. So now you have to learn the importance of having this a little guard, but leave your heart open, and leave your inside soft, but having the discernment, and just practicing and using these muscles that you haven't worked in so long, and having some, I guess, empathy for these muscles. It's kind of like going to the gym and you haven't gone to the gym in 10 years and expecting yourself to lift 300 pounds. No, no, it's going to take some time. You have to build those muscles up. So you're learning, you're growing, you're gaining strength, and it's okay. You're doing a great job. And everybody in the dating world, they're all trying. It's kind of like people at the gym. When you see someone really fat on a treadmill, you send them love because they're trying. They're in a very vulnerable place. It looks like they probably haven't been to the gym in a decade, and they're doing their best to improve themselves. So give yourself the same empathy and sympathy. You haven't been out there in a while, so it's okay. You stumble, you're going to be a little sensitive, shit's going to go wrong, it's not going to go the way you wanted it to. Stuff just happens. And you know better than anyone else not to judge yourself and love yourself through the process.
Yes, sister. Applying my own wisdom. Applying my own wisdom. But it's so funny. But you guys, the kind of like the upside of it, okay? The upside of it, when I send a message to her and I say, sister, it was a fabulous date. I love being romanced, and it's so amazing, and I feel alive, and I feel like like this next level of passion is awakening in me. So that comes with it, but it takes, courage to be visible and the courage to take a chance, right? I even wrote, you guys, some of the most amazing writing is coming through me. I wrote, how I titled this live stream, It Takes Courage to Date. And I think I went on the first date after, like 2 years of not dating. I went on a first date and I was so, I was so nervous in the beginning. Like, this is so not typical of me, I'm like usually like this double Leo, so much fire. I go in situation, but when you're out of practice in one arena, you become, nervous and vulnerable. And I just remember telling myself, Katarina, just see this person with the real life, real dreams, real, challenges. And this is the mindset that I bring, you guys, when I go online dating. I center myself and I tell myself, this is real people. This is not profiles. This is real people with real dreams and real lives and real hopes, just like me. And then your energy shifts, and then you're more receptive, and you're more lighthearted in the process, And I'm not on any apps where there's swiping. I don't believe in swiping. I'm on all the apps where you have to go beyond the swiping, But this is something really powerful, you guys, is to see there's a real person there, right? And then it becomes, your heart begins to open. And then, sister, what else you wanted to share for, for high value dating, for high value people who are ready to date?
Well, I wanted to touch on the topic you mentioned. It felt really good to be romanced, and I want to talk about the science real quick.
Oh, what's going on with the sound? Back up. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Stay connected with your headphones.
So they just died, so I'm having to switch. So with a woman, we actually get more stress working than men do. Actually, 50% higher in the workplace than men. 50% higher cortisol. So it doesn't mean that women should just be housewives, because it feels good to contribute to the world. I'm not saying that women should not work. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have a tougher time with stress levels than men do So we need to look at men as a way that can help us with this stress. And they help us with a hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin is usually a bonding hormone, and it plays more of a big part in females than just bonding. For females, it actually reduces cortisol, and it helps us to de-stress, and it helps us to feel like a lady and a woman. So one of the major factors to add more oxytocin to your life, and a man can add it, is with romance. Sometimes even just a man saying, I'm going to pick you up 8 p.m. on Friday, wear a sexy dress and some heels, and just kind of like leaves the rest up to mystery. Even just the I guess the effort, making plans, and then having something to look forward to all week, it releases oxytocin, and it de-stresses, and it reduces cortisol. And you actually can focus on work a little better because you have something to look forward to on Friday. On Friday, you know that you don't have to plan anything as a woman. You know that you're going to wear something cute. You're going to plan like what you're going to wear. You're going to feel pretty, and you're going to feel like a lady. He's going to pick you up. He's going to court you properly. He's going to feed you. He's going to romance you, and it feels good. It feels really good, for the sheer fact that oxytocin is being released in your body. It's just a rush, and it feels high. Like we love to be romanced as women. And this shouldn't stop. This isn't just for singles. This is also for people in a relationship. You should keep doing this throughout a relationship. That's actually one of the number one ways to keep your sex life really hot and passionate. It's one of the ways that you can actually have your wife tear your clothes off instead of having to ask her for sex. And when men wonder why they're not getting sex, maybe they should take a look at their romance and think about when the last time was that they romanced their wife. So the romance part of dating is really fun for many reasons. You're meeting someone new. You can look at this as an experience to learn something from somebody, because we can all learn something from somebody. Even a bum on the street has something they can teach us. They can teach us what the word soap means. Did you know that homeless people use the word soap for someone that's an undercover cop?
No. How
Because
did you learn this?
I off and on dating this billionaire that likes to sit with homeless people to ground himself. And they were saying, oh, soap, 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 soap. They were yelling soap. And then this guy came up and started asking about drugs. And they were like lying about someone on a bike selling drugs, and ran him off in the opposite direction. And after the undercover cop left, they said, man, he reeked of soap. He was definitely an undercover cop. That's a soap. Oh, another soap's coming, because they could smell the clean. Because some people try to be an undercover homeless person. They look the part, but they can't smell it, because you can't be cleanly living on the streets.
Right.
So, but that's really fascinating, right? And I wouldn't have learned that if I didn't go on a date with this guy. I learned about that. I learned about aliens. I learned about politicians and monarchs, because he's a monarch. I learned so much. That's so valuable. Like what you can take away from a date, the interaction with a human being. And I understand that sometimes we can get addicted to social media and learn from social media, but it's not real interaction. So we're not releasing oxytocin and all those vital hormones that keep us from being distressed. And why else are we really living on planet Earth as human beings? Like if we wanted to isolate ourselves, we would just be our non-physical self. Yeah. We would just be the universe floating around. But you know how boring that gets? That's why we're human beings. We're here to experience things we can't experience non-physically. Smell, touch, taste, all this stuff like you can usually sharing with another human being. It's the ultimate rush. So we have to look at it.
Yeah.
We have to look at it as more of like an experience, and fun and learning and something that a lot of high value people, another mistake we make is not only isolating ourselves, but looking for our equal instead of looking for someone that complements us,
Mm.
right?
Tell us the difference, Chelsea. How do you see the difference? Because can you have an equal who is a complement?
Yeah, you can have both. So someone that's simply just your equal could mean that they might be exactly like you,
I've met,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
met them, and it's good. Usually we end up friend zoning them because sometimes you can end up subconsciously competing with someone that's too much like you, and it can also get a little boring because you're already
Yeah.
and some of the fun in relationships is the mystery of the other person, and that's actually what keeps desire going. One of my favorite authors writes about monogamy and love and desire, and what keeps people in a relationship and interested is a little air of mystery, which causes desire. And if you are with someone that's too much like you, there's literally no mystery. And it's unfascinating, and it's kind of cool learning about yourself. But then, the other person, you're like, you know what they're going to say, and also if you have strengths in a certain area, let's say me, for example, I have strengths in, let's say, social media, but I have weaknesses in technical and the business side, all the numbers and taxes and stuff like that. So someone that complements me would be somebody that's really good at the technical stuff and maybe shooting the videos and the business aspect of it. So we complement each other, maybe even creating an empire together. Someone that's just my equal and not necessarily my complement, we would be good at the same things. We both be in front of the camera, but no one would really know how to do the camera
Right.
work, and no one would really know how to do the taxes, and so it's finding someone that's your complement. Doesn't mean you're settling for less. It just means that they can actually help you succeed in what you do, and you can actually help them succeed in what they do. Therefore, it's a team, it's a complement to each other, and you build each other up together. That's a compliment.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that. This has been my intention, you guys, the same thing, because yeah, I did that. I've magnetized my equal who is like a mirror of me, and it's my brother. We have a brother and sister relationship. We have amazing connection, and we kind of like we have this partnership, a life partnership, but we are as a brother and sister, and it's so beautiful to have that. I wish for every high value woman, high value man to have this benevolent friend who is there with you, for the rest of your life. You supporting each other missions, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
complementary love match, that is something that we are talking about. And you guys, the reality is that it will require a lot of vulnerability and courage to be found, to be visible, to sit with your wounds when they come up, when you meet your equal, complementary match, right? And to have somebody in your corner, you guys, like this is something like I would have given up so fast if I was doing it alone. I literally would. My defense mechanism would go up and say, nope, it's a waste of time. I have so many goals, and that's something that I would do. But having this beautiful mirror of support like Chelsea in my corner, right? She helps me to redirect my focus and remember the process, remember the value in the process, remember to find joy in receiving romance, and being more lighthearted in that, you guys. And this is the reason I wanted you to meet Chelsea, because she's real. She'll tell you how it is, but she's very nurturing. She's so nurturing. And when I fall apart, and she's seen those moments, she has a way of really hearing me and validating how I feel and how sometimes it's challenging, and helping me to find the joy in the process again. And this is like so
Thank you,
powerful. I'm
sister.
very proud of you, because you guys, Chelsea just released her very first video course, and it's for both men and women. She has no idea that I was about to bring it up. I like to,
I
yeah,
didn't.
I just like to throw this right here. But you guys, I wanted to highlight that because it took a lot of courage for you to be visible with your knowledge and
Yeah.
your wisdom and your share. And we're going to put a link underneath this live stream, you guys. It's so freaking affordable. Anybody can afford this course, and it's valuable. And another way to say it, you guys,
Thank you.
for women who are similar to me, you guys, queen archetypes. Chelsea is my
Yep.
highest recommendation for love mentorship and for dating sessions with her, because once again, you know, she's very nurturing, very deep, and she's been in this playground, this arena for a while. She can really guide you in the most beautiful way, in the most elegant way. I don't offer love mentorship. This is not my arena, but she does, and she's the one that I highly recommend you guys. And you know, definitely connect with her. We're not wrapping up just yet. I hope she can stay maybe a few more minutes to share one more insight. But I wanted to highlight her genius, you guys, because you know, like when I find people who really care about their clients, and number two, who are deeply knowledgeable and really masterful at guiding somebody through turbulence. If you have a strong personality like this one, it's an art to guide a strong personality, you know. And
Thank
all
you.
my clients are very strong personalities, so it's an art to guide and to support when you want to throw the towel. You say, you know, screw this is not working, this is too hard. But once again, you know, your soulmate and your twin flame, your love match, not gonna fall on your head. You know, it's gonna take for some reason I hear responsibility, taking responsibility for that area, just like how you go with your business, with your health, with, you know, with your body temple. Like if I just kept, I always had a dream to live by the water. I have a beach house like 5 minutes to the ocean. Wake up and I see the ocean from every window, you guys. But if I didn't have any strategy how to achieve that dream still be just on my vision board. So you see, that was a big, big moment of truth for me when I realized that my partnership is just on the vision board. I didn't have any strategy of how to actually take steps towards being found and being magnetized towards my partner. And this is what Chelsea helped me realize, you know, is to find the joy and the fun in the process and navigate online dating. Because let's be real, you guys, 2019, most of dating happens online, right? And you know, if you see the joy in the process, then you'll be able to navigate it. You'll be able to open yourself up, you guys. You know what I mean? This is what I'm experiencing, and I wanted her to share her wisdom because her wisdom is very grounded. You guys can feel it's very grounded. Sister, okay, I'm passing on the torch to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of that. It means the world to me. Yeah, my online course is a lot more affordable than one-on-one coaching with me. That's why I created it. And it did take a lot of courage to create it. Like I said before, when I first started this business, I just focused on referrals only and didn't really put it out there because I had to gain more and more strength because it's a process, just like dating is a process. I had to gain more and more strength with my wisdom and with everything I've learned and putting it into practice myself over the years before I could handle the online trolls. And I do get online trolls, actually. I get a lot of, and this one to me is the funniest. I'll make a video for women, about women, and I'll get a man that comes on and comments and disagrees with me,
Mm.
and or I'll write about what women want, and then I'll get a man that disagrees with me, and I'm like, wow, this is hilarious because I'm a woman, and not only have I done decades of research in this area, but I'm a woman, and I know when my vagina gets wet, and I know based on a man romancing me what it does to my vagina. I'm sorry, but you don't have a vagina, so you don't know what happens to our vagina when you pursue us.